All right, today's video is a quick response to a comment that I received on one of my videos. And the comment's by Patrick. Now, Patrick says, hey Ed, I've used the cheap Godox 24x24. He's talking about a softbox that he's got. He's used that for 5 years. I saw a video on it and noticed the shiny skin results, just like I experience when using it. The Lastolite, and that's the softbox that I'm demonstrating in the video that he's commenting under, the Lastolite is quite a lot more expensive. Do you know if it makes that much difference between the two? For one thing, mine has a silver interior, just like the Lastolite does, though it does have an inner baffle also. Okay, so quickly, let's go ahead and take a look at what he's talking about. At least the Lastolite that I've got. This is it right here. This is a 2-foot square softbox for speed lights. So the speed light gets mounted here, points inside. We'll take a look at the inside real quick. And sure enough, it's got the inner baffle. It's got the silver interior. It's pretty much the same thing. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a knockoff, but who knows? Not this one, but say something that is less expensive, and who knows who did what first. But this is a good one. I've been really happy with this. Been really happy with this particular softbox. So I started thinking about the question, and I was wondering, why is this happening? What is this shiny skin result he's talking about? So I did a quick search for the Godox 24x24, and I saw a video, and I was pretty sure that he was referencing this video. Now in the video, somebody's demonstrating a whole bunch of different shoots with a model, and sure enough, she's got what you could call shiny skin. It's just a really contrasty look. It looks almost, in some of the pictures, it looks almost like the photographer's using bare flash and not a softbox. So why would this be happening if, I'm not getting those kind of results when I use this softbox, but it's essentially the same design. It's essentially the same softbox, just, by a different company. So I was watching this other video and it was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. This guy's using a softbox in a very different way than I would actually recommend using it. And let me tell you what I mean. If you go to this video, and I'm going to link to it below, if you go to this video, you can see that this softbox is being used at a considerable distance from the model. It's not that far away, but it's a little bit too far away for my taste. Too far away, for something that I'd recommend. Now look, let me just show you. So you've got a softbox right here. It's not a very big one. This is kind of a small softbox. This is soft. This, I wouldn't even call this a medium-sized softbox. It's a pretty small softbox. All right, so you've got it. More than likely, you're setting it up right about here, and it should be about this far away from the person that from the portrait that you're doing, this far away from the person's head. Okay, the reason being is because it's so small, right? Now, if you want to get that sort of wraparound coverage and lower contrast, and you don't want that shiny bare flash look, it should be right about here. Which the rule of thumb, the distance that you've got diagonal on the softbox, on the face of the softbox, that should be about the distance that you're going from the face of the softbox to the head of the person that you're doing a portrait of. All right, so the softbox should be about right here in order to get the really good soft light results. Actually, as close as you can get it in and still not have it in frame. So if you can get it this close and you can frame up the face like that, then you're really doing good. But about here is about as far as you want to go. You go any farther than that, and what you're really getting is this really contrasty look. I mean, in a case like that, why would you even? Why are you using a softbox? I don't know. Just use bare flash. If it's going to be that far away, you're going to get contrast. Bring it in a little bit. Now, that's not to say that you have to always have that softbox or any softbox or shoot-through umbrella or whatever. Like I'm using right here. I'm using a shoot-through umbrella. This far away, I'm touching it right now. This is my light. It's about this big, and it's right here. If you want to bring it right up close, you can get really nice, soft, sort of wraparound, less contrasty light. Push it back a little farther, the light's a little more contrasty. push it back even more, and you might as well, like I've been saying, you might as well be using bare flash at that point. So why is all this the case? Well, to put it in a nutshell, the larger your light source relative to your subject, the softer the look of the light. Okay, it's just going to be less contrasty. This doesn't mean that your light source actually has to be huge. It just has to be big relative to your subject, okay? So if you look at it the other way around, if your light source is pretty big, if you've got a really large softbox, yet it's, I don't know, several yards away from your subject, then you're still going to have contrasty light, because relative to your subject at that point, it gets smaller and smaller the farther you go away. Anyway, so I think I've made my point. I think that was a really good question that Patrick asked, because this is a really important topic. But if you've got a small or medium-sized softbox, bring that baby in really close. If you've got a large softbox, shouldn't be that far away, but you can put it off just a little bit farther away. Other than that, you're going to get some contrast the farther away your softbox is. Just because it's called a softbox doesn't mean your light is going to be soft coming out of that box. There's no such thing as soft light. There's just bigger light or smaller light. And the bigger the light relative to the subject, the softer the look of that light on that subject. Now, I have a video about this very thing that explains how light behaves in a little more detail. I'm going to link to that below also. And actually, I have a few videos on the behavior of light and how to get different looks from your lighting. All those links I'm going to put down below. Again, thanks, Patrick, for this question. As a matter of fact, while we've been sitting here, Patrick responded back to me about this thing, and he says, yep, that's the same video I saw. So it was a good guess on my part. And he says, yeah, he agrees it's kind of far away. That's the problem with a 24 by 24. I pretty much used it too far away most of the time too, but I try to decrease the distance between ambient and the softbox so it's not so harsh. It's only good for a head and shoulder shot. I almost never do those anymore. In fact, most are group photos, so I'm pretty far. So yeah, as we've been talking here, I think that this whole situation, this mystery has been solved where Patrick's question is concerned. So I think we got to the bottom of this, and I think we all might have learned something. And look, hey, if you've got a tip about using softboxes, softbox lighting, maybe lighting in general, please share that tip in the comments below. It would be greatly appreciated, especially, there's a lot of people watching these videos that, a lot of this stuff is still kind of a mystery to them. They might have the different softboxes and the different umbrellas and the different flashes, but they're still trying to wrap their heads around how to use this stuff. I know I was once there. Many of you were once there. Maybe some of you are still there. So yeah, share those tips. In any event, I want to thank you for being here today. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Leave a comment, like I said before. Give me a thumbs up if you did like this video. And I think that's about all I've got for you today. So I'll see you next time.